Hi, welcome back. It's another blessed day. We thank the Almighty God to be alive. Once again, I welcome you back to the Great Victoryland e-learning platform. The name still remains Sir George Amankwa Divine. You can call me Moreno or George One or Mori One for short. Now we have all for today. The last time we met on OAP, we talked about what we call festivals. Today, we have culture. Under OAP, we have culture. Quickly, let's go to our objectives or what we stand to achieve after today's lesson. Now, after this lesson, we want all peoples to be able to define culture. After today's lesson, we want people to define culture. Second to the point, we want you to know the aspects of Ghanaian culture. We want the people to know the aspects of Ghanaian culture. Also, we want you to tell the characteristics of culture or the features of culture. What are the characters of culture? Also, we want you to know some activities that causes cultural change. We want you to know some activities that causes cultural change. Last of it but not the least, we want you to know some importance of knowing your culture. What are the importance of knowing culture? After this lesson, we want you to achieve that. Now the big question, what is culture? Do you have any idea? Are you still thinking of it? Let me help you out. This is the meaning of culture. Culture is the way of life of a group of people. Culture is the way of life of a group of people. How some group of people or particular people do their things, how they go about their traditions and everything, their lifestyle. The lifestyle of people is their culture. Now, what are the aspects of Ghanaian culture? When I say aspects, what are the things that showcases for you to know that indeed this is one's culture? What things do you see that tells you that this is someone's culture? What are the things in culture? These are the aspects of Ghanaian culture. Now, the aspects of culture are categorized into two. We have material aspects, that is the things that we can see and also we can touch. When I say material aspect of culture, we are talking about the side of culture that we can see and also we can touch or feel. So, what are the things that we can see or we can touch that shows one's culture? They are the aspects or the material aspects. One of them is food. The food of people shows their culture. For example, when in Ghana here, if you take a food like tozafi, you know it is a food which is common to the people of, you've answered it well, the Muslims. The people that worship in Islam. Tozafi is their traditional food. If you take a food like komi or let's say kenke, it's a food for the Ghanaians. Fufu is a food for Akans or Asantis. Akple is a food for ever or ewe. So material aspect of culture, we have one to be food. Second of it is dress. If we take Jalabia, it's a dress for Muslims. Kente is a dress code for Akans, especially Asantis, and also it is a dress for the Ebers. So dress is one of the material aspects of culture. Don't forget, we said material aspects of culture are the things in culture that we can see and touch. Last of it on material aspect of culture is style of houses. Each and every tribe has a way of building their houses in the olden days. So let's recall the material aspects of culture once again. Food, dress, style of houses. Let's go to the non-material. They are also aspects or parts of culture, but we do not see or feel them. We can't hold them, but they are parts of culture. They are also aspects of culture. One of the non-material aspects of culture is music and dance. Each and every tribe in Ghana has a style of music. When we play the Muslims' music, you could hear or see that this is a music by the Muslims. Also, the dance. Each and every tribe or ethnic group have their style of dancing. We have Agbaja by the Ewe, Adwa and Kete by the Akans. We have Palogo and different dances by the different ethnic groups. So, non-material aspects of culture. We have music and dance. Second to that point is belief. Each and every tribe has what they believe. Each and every tribe has what they believe in. So belief is one of the non-material aspects of culture. Language. Each ethnic group or tribe has their own language. Chi by the Akans. Ewe, they have their own language. Muslims have their Hausa language. So, non-material aspects of culture, we have one to be language. And last but not the least, we have their traditions and customs. How they do their things, their traditions and customs. These are non-material aspects of culture. Let's move forward. Let's look at the characters, the features of culture. What are the characteristics of culture? One, if you know culture, culture is dynamic. At times it changes small. Culture is dynamic. It twists and turns. Two, culture is progressive. Culture improves people's life. Culture should be able to improve upon your life. Culture should not pull you down because culture is progressive. It progresses from one stage to another. That is culture. Now, culture unites people. One of the characteristics of culture is that it unites people. It keeps people together as one. It do not divide or diverse people. Last on the list, culture is flexible. What does that mean? Culture is able to be in a certain standard that each and everyone can follow. It shouldn't be rigid or too strict for people to obey or go by it. Culture is flexible. It should be flexible. Another word, let's say it should be able to be a bit soft in its regulations so that people can follow and abide by it. Culture is flexible. Let's consider the characteristics of culture again. Culture is dynamic. Culture is progressive. Culture unites people. And culture is flexible. These are the characteristics of culture. The big question, what are some of the activities that causes cultural change? Oh yes, some of our cultural values has now changed. The way we used to do our things in the olden days, we do not see them nowadays. Meaning our culture is changing, or even some of them have changed. What are the activities or things that caused the cultural change? What causes cultural change? Here you are. These are some activities for cultural change. 1. Education. What we've been learning in the classroom, talking about formal education, most of them that we've been informed are able to transform us from the way our great-grandparents used to live. We've diverged from that. We've channeled from those cultural activities because of education. And the public education that goes on now also changes some of our cultural heritage. So education is one activity that causes cultural change, and also educational pursuit. When someone happens to travel from Ghana to, let's say, United Kingdom or US, and the person is a Muslim, when the person used to be in Ghana, he used to wash him or herself using the kettle. Anytime he visits the gents or the ladies, he comes back to take the kettle filled with water and he washes some parts of him or her. When the person finds himself in UK or America, those practices where you used to observe your worship by bending down on a mat, or you used to take the kettle full of water to wash yourself up after visiting the ladies or the gents, or even after urinating, you no longer do them again. What has caused your culture to change? Educational pursuits. It causes cultural change. 2. Inter-ethnic marriage. I am a Muslim and I had my husband to be a Khan. My husband will no longer worship as a Christian. He has to worship as a Muslim. So the Islamic style of worshiping, he will practice them. What has caused the change of his culture as a Christian? Because he did not marry from his own tribe. Inter-ethnic marriage, that is marrying from a different tribe, causes culture to change. This is one of the activities that causes cultural change. Inter-ethnic marriage. Modernization is also one point. Modernization. The new things coming up, the old things are archaic, old-fashioned. So the new style of living, the modern style of living also causes culture to change. So the long dresses that our parents used to wear when they were young, we don't see them nowadays. What do we see? Short dresses. What has caused our culture to change? We think that that is the modern way of life. So modernization has caused culture to change. Fourth on the points, we have trade. If you happen to trade outside your country or outside your region or outside your community, the new place that you find yourself, what they do there, that is what you are also going to do. There is a saying like, if you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. So if you happen to trade in a different place, their style of living, that is what you're also going to do. So you just have to abandon your style of living as your culture. What has caused your culture to change? Trade. Also, social media. There's a lot of influence on social media. What has been going on viral, what we see on televisions, computers, social media platforms, we are practicing them, and those things are changing our culture. So one of the causes or activities for cultural change is social media influence. What is the need to know your culture? We have to know our culture. Why? These are some of the reasons why we need to know our culture. We have to know our culture because of these reasons. These are the importance of knowing your culture. One, to appreciate yourself and others. If you know about your culture, you have to appreciate, you will appreciate yourself. Oh yes, this is me. This is how my great-grandparents used to live. This is our style of living. This is our culture. You will appreciate yourself and you appreciate others as well because it is their culture too. Also, to know your true identity, like I said earlier on, if you know about your culture, if you learn about your culture, you know your true identity, where you are coming from. Third on the point, to live peacefully with others. So if someone does something, you know that, oh no, this is their culture. So I don't have to have grudge with him or exchange words with him or quarrel with him. It is his culture. If you know your culture, or one of the importance of knowing your culture is to live peacefully with others. Last on the points, to teach the younger generation. You have to know your culture so that when you one day find yourself to be old or grown up, let me use that word, you can also teach your children and your grandchildren. I'm talking about the younger generations. One importance of knowing your culture is to teach the younger generations. This is what we have for today. Now let's look at our evaluations, our exercise or assignment, which should be submitted on time for marking. Number one, what is culture? 2, state 3 non-material aspects of culture. 3, give 3 characteristics of culture. Characters of culture. 4, what 4 activities causes cultural change? Tell me some of the things or activities that causes cultural change or that changes culture. Last but not the least, state 2 importance of knowing your culture. I'll come again next time. This is Sir George Amankwa Divine. You can also call me Moreno or Moriwan. I am your facilitator when it comes to our world, our people. Oh, for sure. Till we meet again, it's bye-bye.